Hello, friends and students. Now I am again with you with another topic of project management. Different types of projects under BMRED. Basically, BMRED is B for balancing, M for modernization, R for replacement and rehabilitation, E for expansion, and D for diversification. So these are the five points which today I discuss with you, and this is the last topic of the project management unit first. So now the first one is basically different types of need based projects are required different types of terms. So this is the first thing, balancing project or balancing term. Basically, balancing means the situation when the production process in a plant passes through the different stages and through different machineries. So, maximum production at a particular stage is the ultimate optimum production of the plants as whole. But this particular stage may be called as the key factor with the respect of the volume of production. So it may also be noted that installation of additional capacity and additional machinery at the particular stage within the entire chain of production, that should be increase the plant total volume of production. But in reality, the capacity of different stages of production and centers are not harmonized, and lesser production of some components at some stages is limited the volume of production of ultimate finished product. So under this situation basically when the organizations like to optimize its business by increasing the volume of productions and production of said finished product, like the organization needs to increase the production capacity of the particular stage. Basically, a project is drawn for the installation of additional capacity in the key factor areas, like such a product for augmented or strengthening the capacity of particular areas of within the chain of entire production plants, so that the production capacity of all production centers within the plant is harmonized. It is called balancing project. So basically, balancing project means the project. These kinds of projects are undertaken to remove the underutilization of the capacity of certain production centers as the volume of inputs and such centers is not to the levels of its capacity. Accordingly, these projects optimize the production and reducing the efficiency in production plants, then thus increase the profitability of the production and of the project. So basically such projects optimize the production and reducing the inefficiency in the production plant, and thus increase the profitability. So an extension of the balancing project is integration. Basically, integration of production, such integration can be backward or as well as forward. Like balancing project with backward integration means the organization procures materials and components to be consumed in the process of manufacturing of finished goods. Like supply of more component is irregular in nature and not to be level of its plant capacity. So at that stage or at the same time, it is the economic to increase the volume of procurement from the different sources. So in this situation, the hampering the regular manufacturing of ultimate finished product is in the plant. Or the second thing is the long lead time for supply of goods, and certain costly basic components require some component in the store at the very high inventory level, which means large inventory carrying cost. The suppliers of such components command undue large profits and thus erodes the profitability. Under this situation, the organization looks for the installation of capacity in its own plant and for the production of such components primarily for its own capacity consumption. A project for installation of capacity to manufacturing component like mentioned above and for its own capacity consumption is called balancing project with the backward integration. And other thing is the important thing, the project balancing project with forward integration. And this may be a situation where a company would be like to install the additional capacity of the particular project and further processing of its currently produced finished goods, and the new capacity to install should be balanced and with the volume of finished production and as output of the present plants. In that case, the company with the aim of further volume of addition and growth and in sales and turnover etc., as well as the profitability is to be prepared, balancing the project with forward integration. Of course, the project can be implemented with the through the market research, satisfaction of possibilities, and selling of the produced ultimate product and other things. A company producing the acrylic fibers started facing problem with the government of India's liberalization of import and other things, bringing to more and more acrylic fibers and lesser import duties also. The profitability of the company was further presumed as the international price of acrylic nitrate and requires raw materials for the production of capacity, and acrylic fibers had gone up to the dollars of this and other things. If the price goes up and things, then this is the forward integration. Basically, the reports on the market study revealed that by further processing of acrylic fibers from the present plants, and company will have no problems in the selling of volume yarns and produced as such, part of which also give consumed by the company in the manufacturing of blankets also. So there are different kinds of things, the project integration project and instead of balancing project also. This is the situation. So there are two things, the backward integration and forward integration we discussed with you. Second point is modernization. Basically, modernization project means when we find a situation when an organization is carrying out its activity with this plant setup long back. So as a result, while company was running efficiently and profitability in the past, it started facing problems in its plant leading to the erosion of its profitability. Then the companies or organization go for the modernization of project. This is the mainly because why we use the modernization. The oldest age of the plant causing very high maintenance cost and increasing the breakdown also. Second thing is the modernization elsewhere in the plant and some industries and other is creating difficulties in the competition also. And third thing we have seen that in the for example, like we can say that the scenario was faced by the steel manufacturing industry in USA when the steel industry was referred as the sunset industry. In the recent years, free cost effects steel manufacturing units in the United States have again become globally competitive. This situation was very apprehended years back to the Tata Irons and Steel Company in India. It is known as TISCO. And the company undertook a massive modernization project and divided into 4 phases. So basically the phase 1, 2 and 3rd have already been completed by the company and undertook phase 4 modernization program in the year of 1996. So that's why which should doubles the capacity and hot rolled coils and other triple output of the bars and rods and etc. No doubt, with the lowest one cost of the own captive mines and together with the modernization, and the company output should be extremely competitive. So the modernization projects are aimed at the improvement of plants and process of new machine, new techniques and the new process also adapted by the companies are not meant for changes in the line of activity and production. This is the only the change in the and the improvement in the plant capacity and process and raw material and techniques of the particular production things. but it's not mean that the company is changing the line of activity and production. Basically, NTC means National Textile Corporation has been suffering losses due to the various reasons, including the obsolescence of machines, and government has approved in July 1996 a modernization project rupees 2006 crores to modernize the 79 mills and is constructing of 36 unavailable units. And third is replacement. Basically, an organization carrying out its manufacturing activity in its plant and may face some problems with some machinery installation in plant, and other things situation arises due to the aging, wear and tear, leading to the breakdowns and lower output and etc. Mounting up of such problems even lead to a situation where the maintenance cost become too high and uneconomic, etc. The same time, reduction in the volume of production is also there. So in that situation, the organization must consider replacement of particular machines and machinery causing such problems also, and other things. So by replacement in such situation we mean that the assets currently in use is replaced by one new one, and with almost same capacity and other things, and not including new machine with much larger capacity as, and otherwise it would be type of expansion project and replacement project. So most of the management implement the replacement project, and such expectation to reduce the cost of maintenance and of the old machines and get rid of hindrance of some to smooth flow of production. Thus maintain the schedules delivery to the customers also it is required. Then this type of project is generally cost based and does not have enough scope to estimate the additional revenues from the projected investment. The appraisal of the project is made with the expected benefits. Because of such investment mainly is in the area of savings of maintenance cost and achieving the sales target by timely delivery. So there are different things which we discussed, and other things, and like managerial decision to go ahead with the project will depends upon the different things, like the cost of replacement, comparative cost with the our option to select a new machine, and second thing is availability of resources of new machine, third thing is magnitude of the saving of maintenance cost and losses on account of background down etc, and fourth is the possibility of achieving the sales target, and fifth is additional incidental necessities by replacement of, and last thing is the scrap value of old machine which is being replaced. So all these things are about the replacement project. Fourth point is the expansion. Expansion basically the situation where an organization carrying out certain volume of activities and may like to increase its volume of activities with the same production and product and services and grow also. When such an organization intended to install extra capacity by adding the inter alia or new sets of machine and etc, and labor volumes, and project for such investment is called expansion project. So basically the expansion project is undertaken primarily with for the growth of organization and confidence that the organization is likely to be maintain its market share, and in estimated increase the market size, and organization is striving for the increase in the market share also. So basically expansion is different from the replacement, and replacement is basically the replacement of the old machine with the new machine, and expansion is the plant capacity to increase the plant capacity for increasing the volume and increasing the production capacity and market share in the different areas. So expansion plans such as can be achieved by one or more of the following steps. So there are three steps in the expansions, like by establishing the additional capacity in its plant and thus increase the volume of output, and the second thing is by acquisition of another organization relating to the same industry, and third thing is modernization of its plant which may also be include the installation of capacity with plant. like examples of such expansion like leading industry of for battery with rupees 360 crore turnover in the process of its expansion, and batteries in the two-wheeler segments with expansion project of 35 crores raise the capacity of 8 lakhs batteries in a year to the 20 lakhs at the year of the next year. So these are the different things which we need to do for the expansion of the project. Basically, project is bifurcated into the two parts, in one relating to the direct paper manufacturing and activity and other relating to the generation of distribution stream, powers and etc. Sometimes such modernization includes a change in the input and process as well. This may be have following terms. And the fifth one is diversification. Diversification basically the situation, the project initiated by an organization and with the idea of the carrying out new activity and new business dealings and with new product services or in addition to existing activities known as the diversification of project. It may be ensured that the new product and service are fully marketable by the organization. So basically such diversification project can be illustrated by the following things. The first thing is a large company in the business of fertilizers and chemicals with a sales turnover of rupees 850 crores in the year of 1994 and 95 made a plan to diversify into the core sector project for power and steels. So this is the new activity plan, and as such is so diversified from the companies and existing product that company had to obtain its shareholders approved the change in object clause of its memorandum of association, then to enable it to carry on the business in the planned and areas of diversification, and subsequently also had the approved from the relevant statutory authorities also. So diversification project was with an estimated project of rupees 7,700 crores with the projected production of 2.2 million tons of steels plant and 1,000 megawatt power plants. The feasibility study contained in the relevant project and reports helped to the management decide in favor of such large investment. So basically when we go for the diversification, then we need to we need to study the feasibility study and reveal the project reports and etc. in front of top level management and other interested stakeholders and other things. It may be noted that the diversification project is almost new project, means it completely replaced all the machinery and capacity and other things and product and services also. And except that in case of diversification project, so the organization derives some cost benefit from the already existing infrastructure and of organization dealing with the certain current products. We repeated here that there are maybe overlappings of projected activities, and so other things and project may be complex in nature, including activity belongs to different types of project. Again, and other things, the modernization and other project undertaken by company alkali as a chemical industries and revealed with the complex activity as such project includes. The first thing is modernization of existing mercury cell plant up to this, and installation of two DG stats up to 18 MB each and balancing other things. And this is the all about of BMRED, balancing, modernization, replacement and expansion, and other is diversification. So R for replacement, sometimes it is also known as the rehabilitation and reconstruction of project also. There may be a situation when organization has for some years incurred losses and accumulated loss and have expected that company's shareholders. Then fund which leads to the negative net tangible assets, and the company in such cases declared the sick. When the companies are declared sick, then go for the rehabilitation and reconstruction of the project, it is known as. Under this situation, company will find a project by completing changing the existing financial structure, and company and project owners draws a project rehabilitation cum reconstruction project, which is discussed in the board of industries and other financial and reconstruction areas, BIFR. So BIFR is the board of industrial and financial reconstructions organization. When the BIFR agrees the feasibility of such products, it requests the Financial Institution and Industrial Reconstruction Bank of India IRBI, now named as the Industrial Investment Bank of India IIBI, and to prove that necessary funds for the investor financial structure. Normally there are specially concessions and agreed and other things, special concessions and whereby liability for interest and are included. Penal change are waived all any liabilities to financial institution are to certain extent converted the company's equities, thereby further reducing the latest burden of the things. So such is the situation where the agreed upon all the and other things, and highlights of the project include the like other important things, the promoters and companies optimization production and other things are included in the rehabilitation and reconstruction of the terms. So basically 8 of the 9 the other subsidy and other things and listed. The project is non-routine and one-off undertaken for future activities with specified performance goals. So it has a owner who implement the project to satisfy the need or to avail the opportunities. Project has started and ends with the completion of the project. So there are different things and different goals and objectives of the organization. To complete these objectives and goals, so then we need the different types of project under the BMRED. So BMRED different types of project like in balancing project and modernization project and replacement project, expansion project and diversification project. So I am just talking about a brief discussion on the BMRED and the different stages of the project under the BMRED. Thank you for watching.